And welcome back to Capitol Square. I'm Jerry Revish. In March, President Obama signed a sweeping health care reform bill into law. And just last month, several provisions of the Affordable Care Act went into effect. But opinions remain strong about the nation's health care system. So we asked senatorial candidates Lee Fisher and Rob Portman how they would improve that.
Well, as you probably know, Jerry, I'm not in favor of the health care bill that was passed by the Congress. Why? Because I don't think it deals with the fundamental problem of the dramatic increases in health care costs. We're seeing it again this year. As I'm talking to small businesses around the state of Ohio, we just finished our 71st factory tour. They tell me the same thing, which is health care costs are making it less likely that employers can hire somebody in Ohio because the costs are going up so high. So I think that the legislation missed the boat. It was a missed opportunity, and we ought to go back and we ought to fix it and make it focus more on getting costs down. Today I was endorsed by the Ohio State Medical Association, and we had a roundtable with doctors and hospitals here in Columbus. We talked about this issue, and there are lots of great ideas to get costs down. One is to get the frivolous lawsuits out of the system that increase costs about $200 billion a year. Another is to improve health information so that all of our medical records are accessible and you have fewer accidents, fewer problems, and you get costs down and improve quality. Another is making sure that insurance companies have to compete for our business.
Tell us how you plan to improve the healthcare system in the United States.
There isn't a single person watching today who hasn't been affected by our healthcare system. My mother died at the age of 58 of cancer. I've got a family member right now who is very seriously ill. And I think it is outrageous that we have allowed insurance companies to make medical decisions for members of our family. That's why I believe that it was time to stop having insurance companies denying coverage for someone because of their prior medical condition. I think that when you go get a preventive screening, whether it's a mammogram or for a woman or something else, you shouldn't have to pay a dime for that. That's prevention. And I also think that we should be giving tax breaks to small businesses to provide health care. Our health care system is broken, but we're moving in the right direction by making sure that insurance companies are not making the decisions. The decisions are being made by doctors and their families.
While Fisher defends many elements of the new health care law, Portman believes much of it should be repealed. Polls have shown Ohioans dislike the law by a wide margin. Jim?
Yeah, Jerry, that's a very good point. And Joe, let me just ask you right at the top here. It seemed like Rob Portman at the beginning of this campaign really emphasized that he wanted to repeal this Obama health care law. And now he doesn't use that word.
Well, as time goes by, more and more of the law is starting to be phased in. We see the coverage for young adults, that parents can keep their kids on their health coverage until they're 26. That's kind of popular right now because a lot of kids are graduating from college. They can't find a good job that offers health care coverage. Also, the idea of having coverage for pre-existing conditions. That's solving a problem that was there, and people are kind of seeing that thinking, well, that's not so bad. So it kind of puts Rob Portman in a difficult position to repeal and replace it.
Republicans reading polls here, Mark?
Well, part of the problem with repeal and replace is what's the replace part, you know?
Right.
Would you try and keep some of these things? Would you do something different? What's the alternative?
And we don't hear much specifics on that. In other words, pre-existing condition, as these polls continue to show that the actual law is not popular, the individual items within the law, many of them are popular and gaining traction, like covering everybody and pre-existing conditions, and particularly for children. So we might have a little bit of poll reading going here on here for Republicans kind of pulling back. Do you expect repeal if Republicans take control of Congress? Is that something that's even on the table anymore?
Well, it's something that they've pledged to do, right? I mean, it's something that the Republican majority, I think, would be expected to at least try to do. But again, to me, the question would be repeal, fine, but what do you do in place? Because I think most people want to see changes in health care. They might just disagree about the way to do it.
Joe, we just have a few seconds, but do you think the unpopularity of this law is the reason why Fisher is struggling?
I think people don't know the law, and that's why why Fisher is struggling, because people hear about the health care law and it's usually negative.
All right. Jerry.
Thanks a lot. Federal government responsibilities in education have always been limited, but it remains a major campaign issue during elections, and this year is no different. So we asked the senatorial candidates, how do you plan to improve the education system in the United States?
You know, I have two children, 26 years old and 19. The greatest gift that my parents gave to me, and I hope that we've given to our children, is a world-class education, whether it's public or private. And I went to the public schools. I believe that making sure that our kids have the best trained teachers, in schools that are warm and safe and dry, with small class sizes so that kids get individual instruction. That's the key. But if there's one area that's the most important, it's early childhood education. Why? Because 85% of a little girl's brain develops before she walks into the kindergarten door. So making sure we focus on those first 5 years of life will determine what happens in the next 80 years of life.
Tell us how you plan to improve the education system in the United States.
It's a very important issue because America used to be #1 in the world in terms of math and science, and even in reading we're falling behind other countries. So to be globally competitive, to be sure that our kids are getting the opportunities that they deserve, we've got to improve the system. I commend Arne Duncan, who's President Obama's Secretary of Education, because he's focused on standards, but also being sure that teachers who are teaching well get rewarded and those who are not do not stay in schools that are failing. And I think that's necessary to do. Where the federal government plays an even bigger role, of course, is in worker training and worker retraining. So the federal role in K-12 education is relatively small, but it's much bigger in terms of the retraining. Here, Ohio gets $3 or $4 billion a year, and it's not very well spent. That money is going through a lot of different agencies and departments. It needs to be coordinated better. We also need to be sure that Ohio is spending the money better. Believe it or not, Ohio is number 44 out of 50 states in the country in terms of getting those federal dollars to actual retraining of workers. Our Portman Plan for Jobs has a proposal on reforming our worker retraining system.
Senator Voinovich has been a big advocate for improving early childhood and adult workforce education. And we should mention Ohio recently received $400 million in federal race to the top money. Jim.
Jerry, had an opportunity to interview then Senator Barack Obama back in August 2007, right before the South Carolina primary. In that conversation, he said, #1 priority of my administration will be education. So let me just ask you both, what happened? I mean, this issue is hardly generating any kind of notice in this campaign, which seemingly is all economy driven, right?
Exactly. I mean, people are worried about jobs right now, and education is a path to get jobs, but it's not exactly the #1 issue on people's minds.
Right, I think that's the case, and yeah, there have been some initiatives, like you mentioned, the race to the top, competition to try and drive some change in the classroom, but a lot of what happens in education is a local state issue, and it's difficult on some level on the federal side to push it.
You remember, Republicans back in the 1990s, Mark, used to run campaigns saying they would totally do away with the Federal Department of Education. We don't hear that from Rob Portman in this campaign, or for that matter, any other Republicans, maybe a few. But in the Senate campaign, that has not been an issue. What happened to that idea?
Yeah, I don't know. You haven't heard much about that. And, you know, there used to be a debate, too, about, you know, should we have the No Child Left Behind? Was that no funding left behind? And what should the federal policy or approach be? I mean, there was, you're right, talk in the presidential campaign, but you're not hearing that this year in this cycle.
Surprised education doesn't play more? It is directly related, as you point out, to jobs.
It is, but I think right now people are so worried about jobs, and they're worried about their children being able to get jobs, that education and the quality of and the problems with kind of take a back seat.
And frankly, that's why you hear Rob Portman, as he did here, pivot to worker training, you know, which is related obviously to education, but directly to the economy as well.
And I think we can all agree that in the state of Ohio next year, with that potential $8 billion deficit, we'll be hearing a lot about education, because they could be on the front line for some cuts.
Right.
All right. Coming up on Capitol Square, final thoughts on Ohio's senatorial race and a peek at some of the congressional races right here in the Buckeye State, generating a lot of attention across the country. Keep it here.